Game Week 7 Premier League predictions, let's go. Starting off in South London, Crystal Palace against Liverpool. I'm very tempted to go 1-1 here. It's just one of those games where I have a feeling Palace, who are winless, will just get someone against Liverpool, who are currently top of the league. But I have played it safe. I'm going 2-1 Liverpool. If Palace are going to get anything, they're going to need Mateta to be a lot better if he is starting. And also Eze will need to be a lot better because he hasn't been that good this season. And I say that as his biggest fan. Wharton will also need to play like he did in the first half against Everton last week. And the defence needs to be a lot more secure. But Liverpool are top of the league. They've been very good so far. Arsenal against Southampton. This is probably going to be the most one-sided game of the season. They're 5-0 Arsenal. It's not going to be a contest. I think they'll be 4-0 up at half-time. They'll bring on a few kids in the second half and job done. I know they've got a couple injuries at right back, Timber, White, both doubts. Tomiyasu's not fit either, but realistically, it's Southampton, man. They should batter them. It's Russell Martin, Southampton. Like, they're shit. Brentford against Wolves. Well, Brentford are currently unbeaten at home this season, although the first game of the season was an absolute farce. But Wolves have only got 1 point so far, and I'm going with a 2-1 Wolves win. I think this is a game they kind of have to win because I believe they've got Man City up next, which it just doesn't really get any easier for them. They've played a lot of hard teams already. They've already played Liverpool, they've already played Arsenal, Chelsea. Like, they can't catch a break, and although they've only got 1 point, they haven't actually played that bad, so I do hope they stick with Gary O'Neill. He did get a new contract in the summer. But this is a huge game for them. They have to get something here. Leicester City against Bournemouth. I've gone with a 2-2 draw. Leicester have had a couple of draws already this season. Although I do really rate Bournemouth, I do think Leicester need to get something here if they're going to survive. Manchester City against Fulham. Fulham are actually unbeaten since the first game of the season, where they lost in Manchester against United. And I think they're going to suffer the same fate here. I've gone 3-1 to Man City. Realistically, they need to bounce back after 2 games in a row where they've dropped points. Erling Haaland hat-trick. West Ham against Ipswich Town. I've gone with a 2-1 West Ham win, but I would not be surprised to see a 2-2. I think regardless of the result, Lopetegui has to go. Unless they smash Ipswich, have 30 shots, an XG of 7+, he has to go because this team is too good to be playing as bad as it is. He's a dinosaur manager. They went from David Moyes to the Spanish David Moyes, who doesn't have legendary status because he hasn't won them anything. But they could have gone and got Graham Potter, man. And they also made a generational fumble by signing Nicholas Füllkrug ahead of John Duran. That will go down as one of the worst decisions in footballing history. Ipswich are currently 4 games unbeaten though, and this result would bring that to an end. But I do think that they have the ability to get something here. Given how they played against Aston Villa last week, they were all over them. And that Aston Villa team then went and beat Bayern Munich. So you can see that they're a good team. Everton against Newcastle United. I've gone with a 1-1 here, mainly because Isak is not fit. And it does look like Jared Brandtford will be fit. I saw some rumours on Twitter that he picked up a little injury. And if he has, I think Newcastle will win. But if he is in the team, Everton will be a lot better. Obviously, Newcastle have lost a significant goal threat, a significantly good link-up player as well in Alexander Isak. Gordon did play very well up front against Man City, but it might be a bit hard for him because he's going back to Everton where they don't really like him a lot. And Newcastle away from home are just not reliable enough in my opinion. I love watching them play at home, but away, they do lose their way a little bit. Aston Villa against Manchester United, both these sides had European escapades in midweek. Villa recorded a very, very memorable win over Bayern Munich. Manchester United went 2-0 up in Portugal against Porto, then went 3-2 down, got a red card, and then equalised in stoppage time. Harry Maguire may have just saved Eric Ten Hag's job, which is horrible news for Manchester United fans. I've gone with a 3-1 Villa win. It could be a lot more, to be honest with you. Villa could potentially be without Jacob Ramsey, Leon Bailey and Amadou Onana, which will obviously be huge misses, but against this Manchester United team, Unai Emery will smash them. Obviously last year Manchester United did the double. Emery will want revenge for that. Chelsea against Nottingham Forest. I have gone with a 2-1 Chelsea win. They won in their Conference League game in midweek, rotated pretty much their whole team as well. So they will be fully rested. Cole Palmer in the form that he's in will be so hard to stop. And finally, Brighton and Hove Albion against Tottenham Hotspur. Brighton lost their last game at Stamford Bridge 4-2, but they did beat Tottenham 4-2 at the Amex last season. However, I think Tottenham get revenge, and they're going to win 4-2. They won in Hungary in the Europa League in midweek. Probably use a few players that they maybe would like to rest a bit more, but Mikey Moore, 17 years old, put in a brilliant performance. He did play all 90, so I'm not sure if he'll start here. But if the alternative is Werner, considering Heung-min Son is still injured, you've got to go with Mikey Moore, and I really like Werner. He was a legend for me on FIFA 20, but he's just not good enough, man. The reason I think Tottenham are going to score so many goals is, first of all, Brennan Johnson scored 5 goals in 5 games since he deleted social media. What a turnaround. I love the mentality on that boy, man. You know, getting loads of abuse, instead of hiding, you know, just putting loads of PR messages out. He's proved that he's trained hard and he's showing it out on the pitch. But the other reason, Brighton just don't know how to defend. They play such a high line. Like, they make Tottenham's line from last season look low. That's how crazy this is. But they can't defend it. It's so easy to break in behind. Chelsea did it on multiple occasions last week. They could have scored 10 goals if they were more decisive in the final third. And with the way Tottenham are currently playing, I would expect them to be very decisive in the final third. Those are my predictions for this week. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you soon for another video.